Hello and welcome to another TWS Vet Day. We had our first installment earlier this week on Tuesday with African Serval's Bell and Jalapeno of the peppers. And here we have Queen Pepper herself, Ava, on the examination table in for a routine wellness exam. Welcome everybody, happy TWS Vet Day. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Definitely thinking about our followers and supporters down in Florida as Hurricane Ian made landfall recently, and hoping everybody's staying safe and keeping their furry ones safe as well. Hey Maria Vaughn, good morning. Hey Stephanie Hutton. Let's see who else is here. And that is African Serval Ava on the table. That's Elise drawing some blood. Ava's up for a routine wellness exam. I can see Elise drawing some blood. We're also going to be doing some vaccines. We're going to be doing radiographs. Miss Ava is going to get some fluids, as well as perhaps a little spa day, maybe a nail trim if she needs it. And all a part of the preventative care we offer our rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Thanks to your support, obviously, that's one thing that we pride ourselves on here at TWS, is doing that, is being able to be proactive for our rescues, and being able to have routine wellness exams for every single one of our residents. Well, that's exactly that. Starting to get some more people filing in. Kathy Barton, hope you're hanging in there down in Florida. We're thinking about you up here in Minnesota. Laura Reed's here. Hey, good morning, Betty from California. Hey, Carrie Miller, hope you're doing well. Saying hi to the vet crew as well. Morning, Kendra Ditto. Hey, Julie Johnson. Hey, Daniel. Kathy saying good morning from Hurricane Lane. I can see Dr. Campbell is kind of going and just giving her a physical examination, and you can see that Ava's also on oxygen as well. I mentioned that she's going to be getting fluids as in addition while she's here for her wellness exam. They'll be taking a fecal. Looks like Joy just did that. Not the most glamorous job, but it's a job that's got to be done, obviously. They're collecting some urine as well. Mentioned Elise already is running the blood work over here in the corner. And speaking of which, Hal and Bell, who we saw earlier this week for their routine wellness exams on Tuesday, x-rays look clean, blood work came back well. And Elise, what did both of those cats weigh? Do you remember?
Yeah. Jalapeno was 32 pounds, and Bell was Bell 28? 28 pounds.
32 pounds for Jalapeno and 28 pounds for Bell. Yeah. All right, Mr. Jalapeno. That's a big pepper, if you ask me. And what was the weight on Ava that you guys took?
28 and a half.
28 and a half, okay. So it looks like Jalapeno is going to be the biggest pepper. Say hi to a few more folks, and we'll remind some people about Ava's story and why it is important for us to do these wellness exams. Most importantly, taking x-rays and radiographs of Ava to ensure that a plate that she came here with is remaining steadfast and isn't out of place and causing her any pain. And we'll talk a little bit about that once I get into the comments here. Gail Tobin, hey everyone. Nice to have you, Gail. And you're right about that, Kelly. It's cold in northern Minnesota right now, about 32 degrees when you left for work this morning. I think I saw snow in Ely, Minnesota. I saw on the news yesterday. Hey, Eva, checking in from Sweden. Ohio is online. Glad to have you, Jeannie. And it is cold here. It's been a rather chilly week. Yves Goudreau saying thanks for all you do, and thank you for that, Yves. And as I was mentioning, this routine wellness exam is part of the preventative care that we pride ourselves on offering our rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And it's moments like that when I turn around and I thank you, our supporters. Good morning, Adrene. And that's right, it is just routine. Someone asking, intubating Miss Ava as well here. Can scroll through a few more comments. And Kelly Anderson, good morning to you. Pamela Dudley. Hey, Darlene. So Ava and the Peppers arrived to the Wildcat Sanctuary in 2019. And Ava and the Peppers were actually an international rescue. And Ava and the Peppers were confiscated from a breeder that was being investigated for cruelty and neglect. An investigation started when a person who had purchased an African serval from this breeder, that serval had 2 broken legs, had difficulties with its sternum and a broken pelvis as well. And that investigation led to authorities discovering that Ava and the other servals that were being sold for nearly $8,000 from this backyard breeder were living in absolutely miserable conditions. And Ava, along with the rest of the servals that were being bred, were confined to small RV trailers in the back of this residence. And unfortunately, the conditions that they were kept in and the lack of proper care and proper diet left Ava, who came to us with a plate already put in, a previous fracture that had happened. And we know Chili and the difficulties he's faced with metabolic bone disease. And so the overbreeding, the inbreeding, the lack of care, the poor diet leads to the conditions that unfortunately we find our rescues arriving in. And that's what we found when we were doing Ava's wellness exam, intake exam, was a plate already placed. And unfortunately, that's a common occurrence oftentimes when we are taking in servals surrendered from private hands, is cats already have these plates put in them because they've already had these injuries and have already been suffering from metabolic bone disease. I can think of Scarlet the serval, for example. And it's always great to kind of hear the stories of our cats, and it really kind of helps put into perspective, like I've been talking about, the preventative care that we offer and just how important that is to monitor a cat like Ava's health, as well as her offspring, the Peppers. And you can always visit our website at wildcatsanctuary.org, and you can read about Ava's story in even more detail, as well as consider supporting Ava or any of the rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And if you're just joining us, hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to interrupt myself, Kendra Ditto, then I'll reintroduce what's Elise doing. She's measuring for radiographs. So she's doing measuring to ensure the, and I hope I'm kind of getting the vocabulary right, kind of the intensity in which they are going to adjust the x-ray machine to get the image. So they're taking those measurements and then they're determining what intensity or what level that they'll be shooting the image at. But as I was saying, if you're just tuning in to today, welcome to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Today is Thursday, Vet Day. We had a Vet Day on Tuesday with Bell and Jalapeno of the Peppers. And now is Mother Pepper, Ava. And she is having a routine wellness exam, exactly that. So blood drawn, she's going to have her vaccines done. They're looking at her teeth. They're going to do a fecal. They'll get her urine. They've already drawn some blood. She'll be getting fluids, kind of all the things that you would expect from a vet exhibit for your animal, but maybe a little bit more heightened than that. Let's get into the comments here. Wendy B saying, so glad they're safe at TWS. Hear, hear. Safe at Sanctuary, as Tammy has been saying, and I really like that. Yeah, and we couldn't agree more with that, Carrie, and that's why we're here, and that's why you, our supporters, are here to also help kind of take part in that. And Carrie commenting, the more backyard breeding operations that are shut down, the better. Poor animals of any species that are treated this way. Yeah, and obviously so, and that's, where a lot of the times, we're happy to be here educating and, letting you guys take part in that, and you're doing exactly that, taking part of it. You guys are a grassroots movement where you're telling your friends, your family about what are appropriate pets to adopt and not shop, and you're exactly right in that philosophy, and we couldn't agree more here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hey, Sherry V. Glad everybody's doing well today. Yeah, Kelly Anderson, their story is rather heartbreaking, and definitely thinking about all that Chili has gone through since his time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It's just absolutely tragic to think how much these breeders and exploiters are opting for profit over the love and care for these animals, and it just goes to speak about how it is about cash in their pocket and not about the well-beings of the animals they're selling. For Ava and her peppers, the breeder was selling them for $8,000 or more. To think about where they were living in dilapidated trailers that were feces-addled and reeked of ammonia, and the conditions the cats arrived in, well, it doesn't add up to the price that these exploiters are selling them for. Yeah, I agree with that, Adrien. Hoping all the Florida fans are okay this morning. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, so they're on the East Coast. I have my mom on the Panhandle outside of Pensacola, so definitely thinking of all of our friends, family, and supporters in Florida. Dr. Campbell actually came up here from Florida as well. So this will be your first hurricane you're watching from afar?
Actually second. I was here for Irma, but we bugged out with
Okay.
our horses.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, the eye of the hurricane went right over my house.
Okay, holy buckets, Dr. Campbell. That'll have to be a story for another time. That's incredible. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could get another glimpse of TWS Vet Day here, everyone. They're gonna looks like they're bringing out the dental machine. As I said, they were looking at her teeth, and it looks like maybe they're gonna maybe remove some plaque or tartar from Miss Ava here. And get a little close look at her. But rest assured, we're going to go and see some cats today. Shazam is actually scheduled to appear on a live post. We're going to place a fun little enrichment box like we did for Shadow yesterday. Maybe I'll let Timber kind of come down with me and take some photos as well, and we can both do a live post together. But again, happy we got to talk about Ava's story and talk about how important your support is to ensuring that Ava is receiving the care that she very much needed. Unfortunately, thanks to the life that she lived before coming to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Thank you, Elise, and thank you, Joy. And
Thank you, guys.
And most definitely look forward to that live post with Mr. Shazam later this afternoon. And we'll be posting a formal update on how Bell and Jalapeno's exam went later today on Facebook, and we'll do the same with Ava once her sponsors are notified. So thanks again for tuning in today, everyone, and we will see you later this afternoon.